I'm sorry?
You say Alt-O?
Output to printer, that's just like to actually.
I thought that was print, Alt-O is to print.
Yeah.
I've never used Alto. Wouldn't even know what to use.
You wouldn't even know what?
I don't know how to use Alto. I mean, it was just like, it brings up the print and you print it and that's it.
Yeah.
We can only print it.
It's easy.
one way. But,
Simple.
oh, that's right, and then this was the one that you said that, it prints it faster when you.
When you put it on fast draft. Yeah. Okay.
Context sensitive menu.
What's that?
Context sensitive menu, is that when you don't want certain words to be translated? Line 6, shift F10.
Move to the menu bar. Oh, okay, it gives you the miscellaneous things of what you want to do. If you want to mess with the spacing, paragraphs, insert something, read a block, paste, there are different ways to do these things anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But, you know, if you want to go, you know, if you want to find something, you can. You can play the audio, spacing, single, double, paragraphs.
Control L, locate next occurrence of search text.
Oh, I see what it's saying. Say you want to look for a word. Okay, you want to look for Krzyzewski. Well, you spelled it every time. Okay? So you're going to come up here and do F7. Yeah. I'm sorry, you're going to do F5. And you're going to do a find and replace. Or you can do F in hyperkeys is find and replace too. Okay? So say I want to find keys. So it goes to keys. Well, you know what? I changed that one. I need it to be skis. No big deal. In hyperkeys, how do you insert? S needs to be skis. No big deal. Hyperkeys back on. Control L will take you to the next keys. So every time you push Control L, it's going to take you to the word that you last searched for. Guys, fantastic little thing right there. You don't have to keep finding it. You don't have to, you know, push F again to find, type in keys, hit enter. All you do is Control L. And it remembers the last word that you search for. Write that down.
So this is almost like locate?
Yeah, it's a locate. So it's locate the last word that you search for. Okay? Good stuff right there. You try it, Slick? What's
I
that?
guess I tried it, but it didn't take me anywhere. I guess because I didn't have that word anywhere else.
You didn't have the what?
Misspelled word.
What misspelled word?
The word that we fixed.
You don't have to have a misspelled word. Go to the top of that document. Oh, you're in an actual job.
Yeah, I'm just word. But like here, I misstroked next, so I made it next, and then I hit control out and take this somewhere that's
Okay, go to the top of the document. And put your cursor right there. Do F. Type in next. Enter. Looks like you don't actually, you know what, I don't want that one. Control L. There's no one next. That was the only time next was used. Go to the beginning of the document. Type in next. Or did. F. You want to find it. Did. Enter. There it is. Do Control L. Takes you to the next did. Control L. Takes you to the next did. See? Did y'all get that?
Pardon? That's searching for it?
Mm-hmm.
You want us to go to the beginning again?
You can go to the top. And do, are you in hyperkeys? Put it in that text. Yeah, you're in hyperkeys. Do F to find keys. Takes you right there. Control L.
Here, press control, press up.
And take you to the next keys. Do it again.
Ready? Press control, press up.
And they'll take you to keys. So the word that you last searched for, it's going to take you to. And it doesn't matter what it is, guys. I mean, it could be, you could find a word. Okay, I'm going to do one. Correspond. Probably only going to be in there that one time, maybe. There's correspond, Control L. You know what? This comes up because it tells you correspond wasn't in there anymore. So that was the only time that correspond was found. So when you get this little thing, that means there's not anymore. Don't freak out. You know, so if you want to search something out and say you have to change Krzyzewski every time in that document.
Can't you tell it to change it for the whole?
Sometimes you can, but if you stroked it a little bit different, it may not change it. Or if you use, if it was possessive, it may not always change it.
So you did yours. No, that's right.
What?
And then.
What?
No, you hit Control L.
Mm-hmm.
Right, you searched the word correspond, and it took you to the word correspond.
Mm-hmm.
Then you hit Control L, and it didn't find it.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I searched the word correspond initially, it told me that it was not found, but it's right there. So it didn't take me to the word in order for me to try to do Control L. You understand what I'm saying?
Were you behind it? If you weren't behind it, it's only going to go
Oh.
forward.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So it's only going to search forward.
Okay.
New Control L. Okay. And what the student was saying was, I guess she maybe had her cursor right here, or it was behind, in front of correspond. So if you try to do it from there on, it's not going to find it back. Okay? So that's why you need to go, if you need to find it, go to the front of the document. So a lot of times, this comes in really, really good when, say, like an attorney calls and says, you know what? I need that Reyes case. Okay? We took it September 28th, 2015. It was in the morning. It was a 262. Okay. Well, we did 15 cases that morning. 15. Okay? No big deal. So when I read it in, the whole job, I'm going to come to the beginning of this thing, press F for find, and do Reyes. Okay? Press enter, and it's gonna take me to Reyes. Obviously, Reyes isn't gonna be in our lesson plan, okay? No big deal. But say I'm at the beginning of the document, and the file name was Keys. Here's the Keys case. Okay. Boom. Takes me right there. And usually what I do is, like, when the judge calls the case, he's going to say, okay, we need the Keys case. I do the banks for the court, which is all of them, which is your home keys, all of them. That's your court key. And then I push in Keys, period. And then that means it's the Keys case, or Alvarez, or Torres, or Martinez, or Smith, whatever it is. And I always do it first because I know when it comes to court, keys, and it's the first one, that's where the document started. Okay? You're not just searching keys and it just goes all over the place. Okay?
I know this might be a stupid question because I don't understand exactly how you do you keep it open on one job, the day goes on, you don't ever close them out, you just continue.
I do. I do close it. I close it one time. I have a morning file and an afternoon file.
Okay, but there can be several cases in the morning, several cases in the afternoon?
Yeah, I mean, we could have 8 or 10, 12 cases in the morning and 15 cases in the afternoon.
Okay.
So, and it all depends on which court you go on, or go in, or sit in, or whatever, on how you're going to do it. Every court's going to be different. Like, say you have a morning, every morning you're going to do a docket. Okay. Well, you do a docket till 10 o'clock, you know what, we're done. Now we're going to start the trial. That's when I would start my next file, because it's the trial now. So it's a totally different file. But you don't need to start a different file for every case that comes in if you're doing a docket. It's just a docket. So it's no big deal. But like, I do trials in the mornings. So I do one big old file. And we may do a trial that went 2.5 hours. And we did 3 trials before that lasted maybe 30 minutes, all 3 of them. And then we did the 4th trial, and it lasted the rest of the day or the rest of the morning for the 1.5 hours. I'm not going to close the file to start another file. I just know it's in the morning. So when he says, you know what, we're going to do the keys case just got appealed. Okay, well, go to keys on September 28th. We did it September 28th, find keys. I already know because I mark it on my docket. It was number 4. There was no number 5 because there was only 4 cases that morning. I heard it, so it's going to be from where it started at keys all the way to the end. So when somebody calls for, you know what, I need an estimate on the keys because we may appeal it. Okay, find keys. It started on page 1, went all the way to the bottom. Let's just say it was 33. And I can look down here. I mean, obviously that's the column, but it's going to say right here, page 1 of blah, blah, blah. It's going to be 1 of 33. So all I do is I do Alt G, 99, just to make sure. I go to the end of the document. Takes me all the way to the end. It was 33. So it is 33. Okay. Well, you know it's going to be 4 more pages because you have your title page, appearance page, witness page, and certificate page. So now it just jumped from 33 to 37 pages. You don't want to leave that 4 out because if you're charging him $6 a page, you just blew 24 bucks. Not that big of a deal, but if you want to give 24 bucks away, help yourself. I'm not, but whatever, okay? So that's how you figure it out. And that's why, I don't even know what we were talking about. I kind of lost track a little bit, but that's how you find it, is I do it with the, so if you want to find it again, it's the Control L. That's what we were talking about, but I kind of got off track a little bit.
Would you add more than 4 pages if you know you had a lot of exhibits and you have to list all of those?
I might shoot it a little bit high. I might, and if maybe add a page or 2 pages, and instead of 34 pages, 33, instead of adding the 4, I might add 6. And at the end, it's like, you know what, man, it only turned out to be, instead of 36 pages, it was only 35, so here's an extra $6 back because I didn't use the extra page. Most of the time they're gonna say, dude, forget it, or whatever, but if you, most of the time, maybe I'll shoot it a little bit low, but I mean, for the most part, it's gonna be pretty doggone close, okay? So it might be a page, maybe a page off, maybe, you know, if you're doing a really long document. But if it's gonna be 33 pages, it's probably gonna be 33 pages, okay? Any questions about that?
No.
Any questions about any of that? Real good stuff right there, guys. There's some really good material right there. All right. Oops and delete.
Let's see how the oops and delete keys work. Delete keys work. The oops key can undo editing steps. The command is Control-Z or Hyperkey Z. For example, if I add a suffix to specific and I pick the wrong one, I could use the oops key to undo my mistake. I like to think of the command to move back to my last edit point as a movement oops key. The default speed key is Shift-Alt-L, but the hyperkey is capital Z, that is Z with the Shift key. If I accidentally give a command that loses my editing spot and perhaps opens a dialog, I'll immediately press the Escape key and not do any further editing until I've pressed the movement oops key. To delete a whole word, just press Hyperkey D or speed key Control backspace. Here I doubled this word. I'll delete it. To delete one character at a time, press Hyperkey capital D or use the delete key on your computer keyboard. Sometimes you rewrite a line and then you want to delete it during editing. Control Y will delete or yank the text of the entire line. But Alt-Y will only delete from your cursor position to the end of the line. And Shift-Alt-Y will delete from cursor position to the end of the paragraph. Let's say I included the wrong certificate page in this transcript. I could hit the Mark key, then Control page down to get to the end of the file, and then press the Delete key. Eclipse will ask if I really want to delete that much of the document, and in this case, I'll answer yes.
No. Not really. I'm gonna play it again and stop.
Let's see how the oops and delete keys work. The oops key can undo editing steps. The command is Control-Z or Hyperkey Z. For example, if I add a suffix to specific and I pick the wrong one, I could use the oops key to undo my mistake.
And you can do that, and I just showed y'all, just showed you. So you put the wrong prefix, no big deal. Guess what? You don't have to mess with it. You don't have to mess with it, and you can do it on your thing right now. Put it somewhere on there. Put your cursor somewhere on there, on a word, and then push W, and then D for ED. Huh?
Sorry.
What'd you do?
I was,
Okay.
nope.
But
Nothing. It's
Okay, it goes over her word instead of adding a word, it just changes the word to. Just try
Where's
G
G?
for keeping. There you go.
okay. And say you want to do keepings. Stay on. You'll go back on that word. You don't have to change it. Just do W, S. See? So they're kind of telling you, you know, well, do the oops key. The oops key is when you mess up. So say it was specific, and you wanted to do specifically. So you come in here to the prefixes, suffixes. Well, the command is L. It shows you right there for Lee. You don't have to worry that it's A-L-L-Y specifically is the way it's spelled. It's not spelled specific F-I-C-L-Y. You don't have to worry about that because Eclipse is automatically going to change it. It's going to spell it for you correctly. Okay? So you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about adding IES for words that, you know, they require IES on a plural, like species. With the singular, what is it, species? I don't know, maybe that was a bad word. But I mean, wherever it's added, you don't have to worry about adding the E or whatever. It automatically adds it, so you don't have to worry about it. All you do is type in the correct prefix or suffix, and it automatically puts it. Okay? Pretty cool.
What's the capital Z then?
Hmm?
The capital Z.
Where?
It's saying,
You'll do it one letter at a time.
oh, one letter. Okay. The capital Z.
So Shift Z? Shift Z is one letter at a time. The shift is always going to be the thing that you don't use the most. Okay? You get it? All right.
I like to think of the command to move back to my last edit point as a movement oops key. The default speed key is Shift Alt L, but the hyperkey is capital Z, that is Z with the Shift key. If I accidentally give a command that loses my editing spot and perhaps opens a dialog, I'll immediately press the escape key and not do any further editing until I've pressed the movement oops key.
You understand